Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more turkey patterning, and today we've got a combo that one of you guys requested for us to test, and I have a feeling it's going to be an absolutely nasty performer. We've seen numerous good patterns from these shells and this choke. We just haven't put the two of them together yet for whatever reason, so I'm really curious to see what they can give us and how nasty of a pattern we might be able to get, because I think it's going to be pretty impressive. But first off, for the shells that we're running today, I brought out some more of the Herter's TSS loads. These ones are a 12 gauge, 2 3/4 inch, 1.5 ounce payload of TSS 9s at about 1200 feet per second. We've tested these our fair share of times through just about everything, and we know they are an absolute hammer for a shell. But as of the filming of this video right now, it seems like these may be discontinued in favor of the new 3-inch version of this shell, which is also an absolute hammer. But these were cheaper and a little lighter payload as well. I hope they didn't get rid of these shells, but sometimes you can probably still find them on the shelf at Bass Pro or Cabela's. These are made by Winchester, but the Herter's name is kind of Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's in-house brand, and they were great shells. I hope they didn't get rid of them, but at least the 3-inch ones are still some nasty shells as well. But one of you guys wanted to see these run through today's setup, so we'll see what they can do. But for our setup, I brought out the Remington 870 Special Purpose. It's got a 26-inch barrel on it, and we're going to be running the Indian Creek 665 choke. We know what these can do. With a good load, they're absolute hammers for sure. So I see no reason why this combination shouldn't give us a nice looking pattern. I think the better question is, how tight is it actually going to be? But we're definitely going to find out just how good it can be for sure. But for today's test, we're running everything the same as usual. I've got the turkey target at 40 yards and the chrono to get our velocity. So let's get you guys to view that target. We'll take our shot and we'll see what these Herter's 2 3/4 inch TSS shells can actually give us through the 870 with that Indian Creek 665. I've got high hopes for it for sure. So let's take our shot and see what we can get. Okay, that shell gave us 1308 through the chrono. Boss claim is only 1200 for these, but this is nothing out of the usual. Typically, we are up close to bouncing around the 1300 mark, so nothing out of the ordinary. We know these are a good patterning shell, and they can hold together at that velocity. Well, let's go check it out and see how good they were through that 665 Indian Creek. All right, so now we're down here at our 40-yard paper, and I'm not at all surprised to see yet another very nice looking pattern from these shells. I think we all pretty much knew that this was going to be another very nice performing combination, and it absolutely did it for sure. Clearly 40-yard capable, no doubt about it. Nice even core area there, even though we might have favored a hair to the right and a hair low. That's one thing I have noticed with those Indian Creeks is typically if you change them to a different shotgun or change the load you're running in them, they tend to wander around a little, and you really got to get it zeroed with the combo you're going to hunt with. If you're running a bead, you got to know where it hits so you can do a little Kentucky windage or zero your red dot actually to that choke and load. But still, dead bird at 40 yards, nice even core area. Outside of that, we open it up just a little bit, maybe a couple tiny little sporadic bits down here towards the bottom and stuff, maybe a couple little over there on the left. None of that is unusual for these shells. Typically, we do get those nice, hot, even looking core areas with a few little straggly bits around the edges, and that's exactly what we saw here. It's a great pattern, I can tell you that right now, but I will go ahead and pull the turkey target down. I'll circle everything else. We'll count some pellets and see just how good it is, because I think it's going to look even more impressive once we get this turkey target out of our way. All right, so here we have our target out of our way. Everything is circled and counted, and we can see just how nasty of a pattern it is. And it's very impressive to say the least. Inside of our 10-inch ring, beautifully even core area with 296 pellets within there at 40 yards. That's a lot of pellets. Very impressive. And there's even pellets stacked in the same hole as each other. So we may be a touch over 300 for that number. But as far as I could definitively count, it's 296. Outside of that, with our 20-inch ring, we have an additional 182 pellets within there, and still kept a pretty even spread of them all the way around the edges as well. Outside of that, we do have a number of little stringy flyers and bits and pieces around the edge, but nothing major. At least definitely nothing out of the normal for these. This is very typical. That's why I'm really hoping that they didn't actually discontinue these. They're a 2 3/4 inch shell that was a decent bit cheaper than a lot of the 3-inch offerings on the store shelf, and they pattern just as good. It's only a 20 gauge payload overall, and this is absolutely going to hammer a bird at 40 yards. You could push that to 45 and 50 yards as well, I'm sure. So no question about it. This is exactly what I thought we would see coming into it. Another great pattern. We know the pieces were good. We just hadn't put them together yet, and of course, that is what we were able to get out of it. You cannot argue with that one bit. The new 3-inch version of this shell is also good, don't get me wrong, but there's just something about these 2 3/4-inch Herter's loads that I just really enjoyed. They pattern well, they still have a good amount of recoil, but they're not as bad as a big heavy Magnum 3-inch shell, and they were a little cheaper as well. You could find them for 45 to 50 bucks compared to the 65 plus dollars that the 3-inch ones are now. So enough said, that pattern can speak for itself. Another great performance overall. And here is the wad out of that shell. Typical Herter's equipment here. They're these bright orange color wads. They are made by Winchester, but it's in the same style as a Longbeard XR shell. Just a little stiffer, a little thicker, and they have a little styrofoam piece in the base. You can see there's one pellet stuck down in there, but did that one pellet make a difference in this pattern? Absolutely not. Typical Indian Creek stripes up and down the side there from the porting that choke has, but nothing fancy or special to see. Nothing I'm worried about or need to take note of here. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that performance right there? That's just a simple, straight up, fantastic performance overall. Nothing overly fancy going on. We've got an Indian Creek choke that we know is a good performer. We've got the Herter's loads that we know are good patterning shells as well. It did about exactly what I thought it would. I guess there's always a chance that anything in a given combo can perform wildly unexpected, but that right there definitely did not. It's exactly what I thought we would see overall. Ton of pellets through the core, nice even spread, maybe a couple little flyers around the edges, but nothing out of the normal. It speaks for itself. You see the results right there. It's a good combination. So if you've got some of these Herter shells and you want to run them through an Indian Creek, clearly you've got a 40-yard capable combination, no doubt about it. And that for a 2 3/4-inch, mass-produced, off-the-store shelf type of loading, that kind of performance can hang with some of the best of them for sure. There's some really good high-end companies out there that load some nice, nasty performing 2 3/4-inch loads, but you could, at least you used to be able to, go right to the store and pick that one up right off the shelf. I hope they didn't get rid of them. I hope they're going through a little bit of a redesign. They've changed some of the box art recently. I hope that's it, but I guess time will tell, unfortunately. But leave all your thoughts down below. Is that about what you expected to see? Or were you a little surprised one way or the other? Is that a combo that you would ever run if you're getting that kind of a pattern? Or would you still prefer a higher end load? Or when it comes to 12 gauge, are you just going to run something like a lead load, Longbeard XR, Super X, something of that nature? Or is that about exactly what you're looking for in your turkey shell combo? And maybe what other combos do you want to see us run when it comes to either putting different shells through that Indian Creek or running these Herter's loads through a variety of different chokes as well? Let me know what you guys might want to see down in the comments. But with that being said, I've got some more testing to get done for you guys, so I'm going to get back to it. As always, we have the channel Instagram as well as the mailbox where you can send stuff if you'd like. All the information will be in the description if you're interested in it, but I'm going to get back to it, so I'll see y'all in the next one.